Good morning. I got an email this morning about help on the assignment I gave yesterday, converting our base 10 number system into these base 4 numbers in the first reading homework or the first historical counting homework. So I decided just to record a video for everyone, and you all could have a walkthrough of one of these if it helps. So the key to this is sort of to say, all right, right now we've got base 10. If we turn this into a base 4 system, sort of what would that be? Well, we know the first place would be ones. The next place over would be fours. The third place would be 16s, which is 4 cubed. So the ones place, the fours place, the 16s place, the 64s place, the 64 times 4 is 256 place. And then if there was a sixth spot, it would be the 1024 space. But since our number 951 is smaller than 1024, then we won't need that. Kind of like if it was less than 1,000, you wouldn't need a four-digit number because so I'm sure this isn't the only way to do it, but I like to start at this first one and just say, all right, well, of the biggest number, how many 951s are there in there? I'm sorry, how many 256s are? And you can do that if you can't do it in your head. Three 250s would be around 750. Fours would be 1,000. So four would be too much. It's going to be three. But if you want to, if you want to use a calculator for that, you could do 951 divided by 256. And it turns out there's about 3.7 256s in 951. But really, you can just think of that as there are three. And I'm going to write the number three there in our system, but just remind you that by this new system, the symbol for three looks like this. So that basically accounts for um, three 256s. So what is that number? 3 times 256 is 768. So I think it helps. Oh, that was terrible. Hold on a second. Let me erase that. My pen's being a little difficult this morning. 768. So basically, just by putting that symbol on that spot, we've already accounted for 768 out of this 951. So it's almost like saying, if I subtract that from 951, boy, my pen is really being funny this morning. It's just kicked out again. There it is, and it's back. Um, minus. So if I do 951 minus 768, I get 183. And that's good. That number is smaller than 256. So I know I couldn't fit another 256 in. But at this point, it's kind of like, all right, the rest of this number could just be as if I needed to represent 183 with this system. And when I look at our options, 64 is the next one down. 64 will certainly fit into 183. If you want to know how many times, you can do 183 divided by 64. And that's 2.9, basically. Almost three times, but not quite. So that really would be, 2 right there. But in our symbol, that would look like this, right? So we've got three groups of 256, two groups of 64, and two groups of 64 is 128. So if I then say subtract 128, 183 minus 128, that leaves us with 55. So it's almost like, okay, the new number to make is 55 because the number we've got here has already accounted for 768 and 128 more. That still leaves us 55 to deal with. And when I go down to 16s, I happen to know that 3 16s makes 48. So this would be 3 right here. Again, another 3. And that would make 48, and which leaves a total of 7. And then if I had a total of 7, now I just have my 4 spot and my 1 spots left. That's going to be only one group of four will fit. Remember, that's our symbol for one. And if I did one group of four, that leaves me with three left. So that's going to leave me with three ones. So this is really your final answer right here. This five symbol number would represent 951 in the base four system. You may be surprised that why does it take five symbols to represent 951, which only takes three? And the answer is because when it's base 10, you can fit a lot more values into each number. You can only fit up to, by the time you get to three ones, you have to move to the next spot. And by the time you get to three fours, which is only 12, you have to move to the next spot. I'm sorry, three fours and three ones, which would make 15, you have to move to the next spot. So we hit the need for a new placeholder much sooner in a base 4 system. So here is one example of translating our base 10 system to this new base 4.